Hi, this is Ms. Mandy's, and I'm going to read another book for Read Aloud. This one is a book called Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds. I have the dust cover taken off, but this is the spine. It's an outstanding, pretty new book. A lot of kids like reading it. I think you'll like it too. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. For all the young brothers and sisters in detention centers around the country, the ones I've seen and the ones I haven't, you are loved. You can see there are some illustrations. This is the interior of an old style elevator. The whole book is written in verse, but it doesn't rhyme, but it's written in this kind of verse free form format. Don't nobody believe nothing these days, which is why I haven't told nobody the story I'm about to tell you. And truth is, you probably ain't gonna believe it either. Go and think I'm lying or I'm losing it. But I'm telling you, the story is true. It happened to me, really. It did. It so did. My name is William Holloman, but to my friends and people who know me, just Will. So call me Will, because after I tell you what I'm about to tell you, you'll either want to be my friend or not want to be my friend at all. Either way, you'll know me. I'm only William to my mother and my brother Shawn whenever he was trying to be funny. Now, I'm wishing I would have laughed more at his dumb jokes, because the day before yesterday, Shawn was shot and killed. I don't know you, don't know your last name, if you got brothers or sisters or mothers or fathers or cousins that be like brothers and sisters, or aunties or uncles that be like mothers and fathers. But if the blood inside you is on the inside of someone else, you never want to see it on the outside of them. The sadness is just so hard to explain. Imagine waking up and someone, a stranger, got you strapped down, got pliers shoved into your mouth, gripping a tooth. Somewhere in the back, one of the big important ones, and rips it out. Imagine the knocking in your head, the pressure pushing through your ears, the blood pooling. But the worst part, the absolute worst part, is the constant slipping of your tongue into the new empty space, where you know a tooth's supposed to be, but ain't no more. It's so hard to say Shawns dead, Shawns dead, Shawns dead. So strange to say, so sad. But I guess not surprising, which I guess is even stranger and even sadder. The day before yesterday, me and my friend Tony were outside talking about whether or not we'd get any taller now that we were 15. When Shawn was 15, he grew a foot, maybe a foot and a half. That's when he gave me all the clothes he couldn't fit. Tony kept saying he hoped he grew because even though he was the best ball player around here, our age, he was also the shortest. And everybody knows you can't go all the way when you're small unless you can really jump, like fly. And then there were shots. Everybody ran, ducked, hid, tucked themselves tight, did what we've all been trained to. Pressed our lips to the pavement and prayed. The boom, followed by the buzz of a bullet, ain't meet us. After the shots, me and Tony waited, like we always do, for the rumble to stop, before picking our heads up and poking our heads out to count the bodies. This time, there was only one. Shawn. I've never been in an earthquake. Don't know if this was even close to how they are, but the ground definitely felt like it opened up and ate me. Things that always happen whenever someone is killed around here. Number one, screaming. Not everybody screams, usually just moms, girlfriends, daughters. In this case, it was Letitia, Shawn's girlfriend, on her knees, kissing his forehead between shrieks. I think she hoped her voice would somehow keep him alive, would clot the blood, but I think she knew Deep down in the deepest part of her downness, she was kissing him goodbye. And my mom, moaning low, "Not my baby, not my baby. Why?" Hanging over my brother's body like a dimmed light post. Number 2, sirens. Lots and lots of sirens, bowling, cutting through the sounds of the city. Except the screams. The screams are always heard over everything, even the sirens. Number 3, questions. Cops flash lights in our faces and we all turn to stone. "Did anybody see anything?" a young officer asked. He looked honest, like he ain't never done this before. You can always tell a newbie. They always ask questions like they really expect answers. "Did anybody see anything?" "I ain't seen nothing." Marcus Andrews, the neighborhood know-it-all, said even he knew better than to know anything. In case you ain't know, gunshots make everybody deaf and blind, especially when they make somebody dead. Best to become invisible in times like these. Everybody knows that. Even Tony flew away. I'm not sure if the cops asked me questions. Maybe, maybe not. Couldn't hear nothing. Ears filled up with heartbeats like my head was being held underwater. Like I was holding my breath. Maybe I was. Maybe I was hoping I could give some back to Shawn. Or maybe somehow join him. When bad things happen, we can usually look up and see the moon, big and bright, shining over us. That always made me feel better. Like there's something up there beaming down on us in the dark. But the day before yesterday, when Shawn died, the moon was off. Somebody told me once a month the moon blacks out and becomes new, and the next night be back to normal. I tell you one thing, the moon is lucky it's not down here, where nothing is ever new. I stood there, mouth clenched, tight enough to grind my teeth down to dust, and looked at Shawn lying there like a piece of furniture left outside, like a stand-up couch draped in a gold chain. Them fuckers ain't even snatch it. Random thought. Blood soaking into a t-shirt, blue jeans, and boots. Looks a lot like chocolate syrup when the glow from the streetlights hit it. But I know ain't nothing sweet about blood. I know it ain't like chocolate syrup at all. In his hand, a corner store plastic bag, white with red letters. "Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a nice day." In that bag, special soap for my mother's eczema. I've seen her scratch it until it bleeds, pick at the pus bubbles and flaky scales, curse the invisible thing trying to eat her. Maybe there's something invisible trying to eat all of us, as if we are beef. Beef gets passed down like name brand t-shirts around here. Always too big, never ironed out. Gets inherited like a trunk of fool's gold or a treasure map leading to nowhere. Came knocking on my brother's life, kicked the damn door down and took everything except his gold chain. Then the yellow tape that says, "Do not cross," gets put up and there's nothing left to do but go home. That tape lets people know that this is a murder scene, as if we ain't already know that. The crowd backs its way into buildings and down blocks until nothing is left but the tape. Shawn was zipped into a bag and rolled away, his blood added to the pavement galaxy of bubblegum stars. The tape framed it like it was art, and the next day kids would play mummy with it. Back on the 8th floor, I locked myself in my room and put a pillow over my head to muffle the sound of my mom's mourning. She sat in the kitchen, sobbing into her palms, which she peeled away only to lift glass to mouth. With each sip came a brief silence, and with each brief silence, I snuck in a breath. I felt like crying, which felt like another person trapped behind my face, tiny fists punching the backs of my eyes, feet kicking my throat at the spot where the swallow starts. Stay put, I whispered to him. Stay strong, I whispered to me, because crying is against the rules. The rules. Number 1, no crying. Don't. No matter what. Don't. Number 2, snitching. Don't. No matter what. Don't. Number 3, revenge. If someone you love gets killed, find the person who killed them and kill them. The invention of the rules ain't come from my brother, his friends, my dad, my uncle, the guys outside, the hustlers and shooters, and definitely not from me. Another thing about the rules, they weren't meant to be broken. They were meant for the broken to follow. Our bedroom, a square, yellow paint, 2 beds, one to the left of the door, one to the right. 2 dressers, one to the front of the bed to the left of the door, one in front of the bed to the right. In the middle, a small TV. Shawns' side was the left. Perfect. Almost. Mine, the right. Pigsty, mostly. Shawns' wall had a poster of Tupac, a poster of Biggie. My wall had an anagram I wrote in messed up scribble with the pencil in case Mom made me erase it. Scare equals cares. Anagram is when you take a word and rearrange the letters to make another word. And sometimes the words are still somehow connected. Example, canoe equals ocean. Same letters, different words, somehow still make sense together, like brothers. The middle drawer was the only thing ever out of place on Shawns' side of the room, like a random jagged tooth and a perfect mouth, jammed tight between the top drawer of shirts, folded into neat rectangles stacked like project floors, and the bottom drawer of socks and underwear, off track, stuck, forced in at an angle. Seemed like the middle drawer was jacked up on purpose to keep me and Mom out, and Shawns' gun in. I'm going to stop right there. This is an amazing book. I highly recommend it. Available, of course, at all booksellers and your library. Again, it's called Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds. It's outstanding, and it's spooky, and it's raw, and I hope you read it. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.